So this is a failed attempt. And what happened was the previous knot I was using pulled his legs up like he was Batman, like that, and it was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable for him, I'm sure. And he was yelling at me from behind my head. I'm like, okay, what's the deal? I'm gonna check on him. I'm like, okay, that's what's going on. So we stopped and untied it, and I tried tying this thing. That didn't work. It came out way too loose. See, as you can see, if he gets out, whoop, he can get out, then he has lots of problems, like not surviving out here, because he is not prepared to survive. And he's my buddy. I like Stitch. And just like the wild animal rescue shows, there's some animals that they release into the wild, and there's some that they hold for a while before they release, and then there's some they figure these guys are never going to thrive out in the wild because they don't have anyone to teach them. It's too late in their life. Their physical condition is such that they won't do it, and so these shows, they take good care of them from then on. And part of the thing is that YouTube allows them to help to pay for that process. It's really nice. By monetizing things that people care about. So I figured out so far, if I put it over his back, under his arms, over his neck, then he never has anything around this part of his neck. Now the problem is that the knot slips. He either gets too tight altogether, making his arms go up like this, or, and he's being really super patient right now, usually he's a wiggle bug, he's trying to get away, you can't tie the knot, everything's nuts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring this up, give that a little more slack. I'm going to tie this in a knot, just like that. So I don't want that to slip. It's not going to slip. That means now, untangle it from his fur a little bit. Now I got that big loop right there. So now how do I go from here? Maybe I put that through that loop. Is that loop too big? Is that not going to work? It's not going to slip back the other way if I tie it right. Maybe I can tie it like this. I need the length too. I can't leave too much out on this end, or I don't have the length on this end. And he doesn't have freedom to move around the top of the backpack, make himself comfortable. Because he's good. He can, when he's relaxed and he's decided that the backpack is the place to be, and he feels like just chilling and watching stuff, he's great. He can totally, manage his own affairs up there. And I leave him sometimes a little kibble up there. He can chew on some kibble. Leave it in a little dent in the cloth. But the real concern here is, how do I tie this in such a way that it's not too tight, not too loose, and he can be safe, and he can avoid falling off. But you see, that's not working there, because that's too loose. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to try going down here a little bit and tie a knot here. I don't know, I'm guessing. See how that works? And pull that. And this baling twine stuff is really problematic because it tends to fuse. Plastic tends to fuse when it gets under pressure. So you tie a knot and it just, man, once it's tied, it just really doesn't want to slide again later. And yet it'll slide really easy sometimes when you don't want it to. So you really got to figure out how to work it. It's not braided together at all. See, now that's a little better. See, he needs to be able, that doesn't lift him right. Okay. I need that to be such, and this is coming up really short, that it keeps him just tight enough across the shoulders. Does that lift him? Well, at least he'll be safe. I don't quite like it. It's not as good as the first one, but the first one, all the material just wore out. Okay. Hi there. You're purring. Usually you're hating things. Okay. I love my cat. Freaking awesome. Okay, how many minutes I got? I'm at 6 minutes. Just over. Okay, so we'll show putting it on the backpack. There's a little lens cover. We'll leave that right there. Everybody gets to see that. Okay. And this is his little shade box. Oh, stay in there, buddy. And usually when I'm putting the backpack on in the first place, I have to put him in here first, or it doesn't really work very well. And a lot of times he's just not getting it. He's just not very cooperative. And it's cool. Sometimes he just crawls right in there. He's like, he knows what's going on. And off we go. And sometimes you are very difficult. Cold cowboy coffee. Cold brewed cowboy coffee. With the grit and all. Adds fiber. Okay, cat. Are you ready to go? You ready to go, buddy? Okay, so we can see how cozy he is in there. And he'll scoot around and he'll make himself a little more comfortable once we get up and moving. Sometimes he'll come out because he wants to watch stuff. Sometimes he stays in there because it's just too sunny. It's too hot. And that shade is really nice for him. Sometimes it's too cold and he can stay in there and stay a little warmer. I got my sweatpants, I took them off this morning when it started to get warm, and he's got that to sit on, so it's a little softer. So hopefully he'll be nice and happy. We got a long ways to go. We're at a culvert right there, just past Cleft, which is probably what Cleft is named after. And so we will try and look that up on Google Maps and see where that is later for this video. Okay, cool.